had to shake Mike Pence's hand. So of course, obviously, they all met in the background behind the scenes beforehand. So it's not like they just seeing each other right now. So just keep that in mind. So because you see everybody come out, they sit down or whatever. Some people greet, some people don't. But remember that they already all seen each other and shook to take the edge off before they came out. Look at Barack. Al Gore. Mr. Climate Change himself. Look. No Michelle. I don't know. I think that's Al Gore's wife. Yo. See, this is the part where everybody was going on crazy. Like, yo, what makes you think these people really don't like each other? These are politicians, man. These are the elite, man. Like Trump said, we are an elite group of people. It's an exclusive club, man. Look, yo, let's pretend to read this. He like, you should have picked. He like, look, I didn't really want to pick Kamala, but originally you heard what I said, but we had to go with it because Nancy Pelosi wanted Kamala. We thought she would mop the floor with you. Trump like, you thought wrong. Look at Bush. Hey yo, don't lie. If you was alive during 9/11, like we was all feeling Bush during 9/11. When those daggone planes hit the towers, we was with Bush. Had to cut the white people funeral music down. It'd be different. Oh yeah, oh. But look at all these goddamn criminals, yo. Look at them. Look at all these criminals. Look at Hillary Clinton. Look at look at Bill. Yo, there's a video right now of Bill Clinton's son. And I think they're gonna try to force him to get a blood test. But this is like he is a little black dude, little mixed dude. Yeah, he looked just like Bill Clinton, yo. I wouldn't be surprised. Bill Clinton was that dude. Each and every one of those people up here had some type of scandal going on. They are known for something. Let's just look at it. Mike Pence. He put the knife in um Trump's back, especially after January the 6th, right? The quote unquote insurrection. You got what's that? Al Gore there. He ran and lost after Clinton or whatever against Bush. And Bush won. He came in. Then we had 9/11. You had Bush doing 9/11 sitting there. Now, note, climate change, like for my generation, we start hearing about that through Al Gore. Clinton had, what was it? God darn it. Let me check. He had the Monica Lewinsky thing, and he got impeached. And he had Whitewater. So they had a lot of different things going on during their presidency. And Bush, back to Bush, because that was probably more or less the staple. Him and Obama was the staple for my generation in the sense of the things that was going on and how we felt. 9/11 happened. Like that was one of the most tragic things that I ever seen. I actually went to New York, went to the memorial, and you could feel it. Watching the planes hit those buildings and the towers coming down, and them telling Bush he in there reading to a kid. He just sat there. Then we end up going in Iraq and Afghanistan for 21 years. It went on. Everybody loved Bush and everybody was so patriotic, and then they just rolled in the Patriot Act, and then they start spying on us and trying to take a lot. They took a lot of our rights from us under the guise of protecting us. So he was the beginning of that. The neocons. And Hillary felt like Obama cut in line. And to be honest with you, if we wouldn't have had Obama, we would have had Hillary. And then she lost to Donald Trump. She lost to Donald Trump. That was a messy election as well. Now, I'm pretty sure they was all cordial with each other, right? I'm pretty sure. It wasn't all mean and nasty to each other. Like, look at these two guys. Like, it had to be the worst between these two. He said he wasn't even a citizen. He wasn't even a citizen. He wanted his birth certificate. They just sitting there laughing it up. Like, yo, this shit is not real. It's all a show. But look at all, when you sit there and look at them, think about all the history, all the events that happened, the impeachments, all the different scandals, the dried up nut on that girl outfit, Hillary sticking by him, doing all of that. Think about it. And think about who funeral they at. Jimmy Carter. The hostage situation in Iran. That's crazy. And Trump wife, she ain't for none of the shenanigans. Cause she don't really know them. She ain't in the fray. But Trump always been in the mix. He's been a donor. He's been at the parties. But these two right here, whether you like them or not, in our generation, they gonna go down as two. You know who Lincoln was. You know who Reagan was, and it's gonna be Obama and Trump. Everybody else is gonna be the sideshow in history, and the people they had to cut off their head to get to where they are. Think about the back and forth between him and Hillary, and then him bringing Hillary in as the Secretary of State, and all the stuff that went on in Libya with Gaddafi. Like these people are crooks. So now he had to get some dirt on her to as though, yeah. And of course, that second term, she couldn't run against him. You can't run against the incumbent. They already got their guy. That's the same thing. That's what's the same position Joe Biden was just in. And we seen after that first debate that he couldn't even debate Trump. So they had to usher in motherfucking Kamala. But Hillary really lost her shot. He took that from Hillary. And she just knew she was going to steamroll over fucking Trump. She was the best candidate out of what the Democrats had, and she lost. And you know, after 4 years, no, 8 years of a Democrat, and he was a quote unquote black guy. No, 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 no. Make America Great Again just answered all that. That whole slogan said a whole lot to a lot of people, and they got him the fuck out. They got her the fuck out of there. She had to pay for Obama. And think about what Obama had in his first fucking 2 years, and he just crammed that fucking healthcare shit down. He could have did a lot of stuff because he had the House and the Senate, and he ruined a lot of people's careers based on that healthcare vote. And then when Trump came in, he vowed to fucking disassemble that shit, but it was so worked into the system, it was hard to do. But it was a lot of shit, whether you like it or not, it was a lot of stuff that was good about it. Obamacare was similar to Romney care. It's just so much stuff going on this stage. Excuse me, in the aisle where they're seated at. It's so much stuff going on here. He lonely as hell. He ain't got Michelle there. And you would think, right, when Obama came in and he ran, right, coming in after Bush, and then the recession hit in 2008, right after that, the housing market crash and all that stuff that happened, right? But while he was running, he had to drag Bush in the Republican Party. He did. And these people shake hands, and you can't see it in this angle, but when he came in, sat down, he hit him in the stomach. He hit him like they friends, man. They again, when all the dust settle, they are part of the elite club. And see, I think for the most part, like Trump wasn't really invited. He wasn't really invited. He wasn't your typical conservative Republican. He wasn't. He changed the Republican Party to the MAGA Party. And what Mike Pence represent is the Republican Party, the old school neocons, because all of them neocons. That is a neocon right there. This like Bad Girls Club reunion. It is so much stuff going on in this shot. And we not even done yet. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The Indian black lady, her Jewish husband. Now again, it looks like, and it may be some tension, but like, dude, these people, they were just in the back together. They was just in the back together. That's why Obama like, yeah, yo, like whatever. I don't know what the fuck they talking about. They shooting the breeze. Yo, move your head. You trying to read lips. If she would have gotten there, how much of the decision making would have been him and not her? And see, I don't necessarily doubt her ability to make decisions. I just don't think they'd be the ones that I would like. And it may have been some stuff like that I would possibly agree with. It's stuff that with this guy I don't agree with, but it's probably more that I agree with versus her, right? What we really need is somebody that's going to stand in the middle and govern from the middle, not govern from the right or the left, because the American people, we don't just need the left or the right. We need somebody to govern from the middle and make decisions based on that, not necessarily would it make the far right or far left of the party feel good. Yo, look at this. And poor Kamala, she's got pushed to the forefront. And in all fairness, though, imagine if they would have skipped over her. Well, legally, they supposed to have a debate and all of them try to figure out, we all vote and pick who we want. But they didn't do that. They pushed her to the front last minute. I think they ran the clock out on purpose. They put up there, but they really thought that she could win. They really thought we was gonna do the black thing, the women thing, and people ain't care about that no more. We had the first black thing, respectfully, not thing, person. We had that, and people looking at results and like, all right, well, we got some stuff out of Obamacare, and then it's like this big debate because we can't really pin the success of an administration on the next. We saying basically the reason why things was good with Trump because of what Obama did, and vice versa. So we really, really don't know. Like we really gotta look at everything. There's so many moving parts to figure out what was a result of what, right? But the thing is, people know how they feel, regardless if it's a result of another person while that person in office, and they looking at this person in office and feel like they're not doing anything to change the situation they're in now. Not saying, hey, what I'm doing now is going to pay off 4 years later. No, people want you to do something now because we see crisis happening other places, and then the House and the Congress vote and send money other places because a lot of the stuff is financial. But we seeing money get pissed away, and meanwhile, we can't afford groceries and gas. Look at this, man. You got Monica Lewinsky, you got Libya, the laptop, you got 9/11. Maybe it was an inside job, the Patriot Act. You don't see Dick Cheney nowhere, Mr. Blackwater. You got Mike Pence right here. And he really don't have nothing that really happened other than the fact that he was just the vice president, and that he's a real Republican, and that at the end he felt like Trump was out of control, and Trump did what he wanted to do. And all that tells me that he was not your typical Republican, and he wasn't trying to be controlled by handlers. He wanted to do what he wanted to do, and I think Mike Pence to a certain degree was picked for him to be a handler, but he wasn't able to handle him. Then you got Al Gore over there, Mr. Green, climate control, and I don't necessarily agree or disagree. I just not really well versed on everything to necessarily have an opinion on fossil fuels and all these different things. I just believe that the oil companies. I think that we do have different type of ways of clean energy. I think that we just so invested in oil companies and stuff like that that they just not going to they just paying a lot of money to suppress clean energy so they can make money. And I think Al Gore kind of leans the other way, but he don't really seem like he talked about clean energy a lot. He just talked about carbon footprints. And then when Barack came in, he did the whole carbon tax thing, and try to get other countries to jump in, and China and everybody else in India was like, fuck that. You're not doing that. That's why the air look like fucking how California air looks now in certain places. Um, then we got Barack Obama, of course, Obamacare, him being Barry Soros or Sortos, whatever his other name was, him not really being American, him coming from a rich family, and oh, how the far right hated this man. He was real jazzy, whether you like him or not. His energy was great, good communicator, but I'm gonna say to a certain degree he was a weak leader, and let me explain what I mean. He gave a lot of red lines in Syria, and he just kept moving the red line back every time they crossed the line. But he didn't. I'm not going to. No, I'm not going to say he was a weak leader. I just think that he kind of. I don't know how he viewed his worldview was, but in Syria he looked at kind of crazy. But that's not take have respect for what happened in Pakistan when he went in there and got Bin Laden. And that's kind of a conspiracy because nobody saw the body. They supposed to dump this body in the ocean, and he never washed up anywhere either. But then, you had SEAL Team 6 people who talked about it, so I'm pretty sure it was a real thing. But originally, people was like, it wasn't real. A lot of different stuff happened. He had the housing market crash. Just so many different things happen. Then you got Trump, who got impeached twice. You had you had COVID, and to a certain degree, I think they even let COVID loose while he was in office. Like that was in a laboratory. That's why he was calling it what he was calling it. I think when he get in office, he gonna let us know what's really going on with these drones, and maybe some stuff is extraterrestrial or some reverse engineered stuff that we may have done, or maybe some espionage from China or Russia. Who knows? But why would Russia play? Why would China play? It don't even make any sense. Why would they play with us like that? In a sense of how they trying to have a relationship with Trump when he come in and talk about doing business together, not necessarily war. Even though we do know China wants Taiwan and they gearing up for that. I mean, they just launched one of their aircraft carriers. Is not a nuclear aircraft carrier, so now it got to be a long line of logistics to keep it fueled. So they still really can't. They probably could hold Taiwan down and fight using the aircraft carrier, but they'll never be able to flex their arm on this side of the world because the line of logistics will be blowing those daggone fuel tankers up. They wouldn't even be able to refuel. They get over, they get stuck. We ain't even got to destroy the carrier. We just cut the line of logistics. It's over. So it's just so many things, even with the submarines and stuff. I don't know if they got nuclear submarines. Because if they could harness the power to do a nuclear sub, they should be able to harness the power to do a nuclear um aircraft carrier. So I'm gonna assume that they don't have nuclear subs. So even with them supposedly be launching the drones from both our coasts, I don't know. It don't make any sense. And his wife just sit there like whatever. So with these two though, like it was a bloodbath. This Kamala and Trump thing was a bloodbath. Hold on, let's get Sleepy Joe out. Let's get Sleepy Joe out here. Hey, look. And even just them two talking. Hold on. Let's go back a little bit. She said thank you. She said nice shoes. And what we're witnessing, all these puppets, everybody was a puppet to a certain degree. All of them work for the same person, the same group of people. All of them. Let's think about, without saying it, the things they agree on. If you think about all the things they agree on, that's who they work for. You think about that. Think about their Middle Eastern policies in the Levant. Think about the oil thing. They all still drill. Some just want to drill in other places that may cause environmental damage, blah blah blah, but they still doing it. Look. She's like, I love you, baby. You're the most powerful man in the world. Let your nuts drag. Let's get Sleepy Joe out here. Uh-oh. Sleepy Joe. Look at all these puppets. Now let's talk about Sleepy Joe and what he did. Look at Barack looking over at him. He had more rap for Trump than he had for Biden. But granted, he's sitting where he's sitting or whatever, right? And of course, they're going to be in the front row because he's the sitting president. And if you look at the order that they're in the order that they was the president. So right now we got Biden. Before that we had Trump. Um, and before that we had Obama for 8 years, and before that we had Bush for 8 years, and before that we had Clinton for 8 years. So you seeing the line right there of leadership for the last 4, 8, 16, 24, 32 years right there. 32 years of history, scandals, trillions of dollars in deficit, millions of people dying, everything right there. Don't let them never fool you to make you think they are enemies. All these people work for the same person. All of them. They're really not enemies. They may have differences on the right and the left, but they the same. Behind the scenes, after the gloves, after the blood fight, the be it the had the top seat, everybody fall into place. That's the rule. That's what it's about, being in the club. Rest in peace to Jimmy Carter.